everybody. I am super excited to welcome you back to the Feminine Economy. It's day 13, and I am here with my friend, Julie. And Julie is a certified menopause coach. Say that 5 times fast. And I'm super excited to have Julie here to share ways that you can manage your menopause symptoms. She's got 5 magic tips that she's going to share with you. So be sure to download the link that's going to be in the description so that you can grab those. And they're super amazing. I've seen them. I downloaded them. I'm going to keep them on my desktop and refer to those over and over again. So welcome, Julie. I'm so glad to have you.
Oh, thanks very much for having me, Chris. I'm really excited and quite nervous.
Yeah, it's okay. Totally. Yeah, it's totally okay to be nervous. So what made you decide to be a menopause coach, a certified menopause coach?
It wasn't something I set out to do. I sort of fell into it by accident.
Mm-hmm.
My sort of main job is working within occupational health.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew nothing about menopause. I thought menopause was hot flushes and no periods, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
And I started talking to a lady who was struggling at work because of menopause symptoms, and I was like, all right, okay. So then I Googled it, and it was like, oh my God, there's 34 symptoms. It's like, I didn't realise it was anything that bad. And then a few months later, our manager told us about Lauren Sheeran's free training. So I jumped onto that and did some training with her, had a chat with her, and like, this is my job. I want to help support women. And then I'd asked, how, what can I tell them? She said, what do you already tell them? I'll tell them to go to the GP or check the NHS website. She's like, don't do either of them. Where can I get some training? So the thought of giving someone the wrong information just made my heart drop. So she said, oh, well, British Menopause Society offer training. And she was about to start her menopause champion course. So I joined her first cohort of that and did that, and absolutely loved it. Felt a lot more confident dealing with the women, did a bit of awareness training through work. And then I joined her first coaching cohort. So I was really, really excited. I couldn't wait to start it. It was the longest 6 months I've ever had waiting to start that coaching course.
Oh, that's so fun. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. And yeah, Lauren is a good friend of mine, and I'm so glad that we actually got to go through our coaching training together. So I'm so glad that I got to meet you as well.
Yeah, no, it's fabulous. And I just, it's just something that, just piqued my interest, and it's just sort of snowballed from there.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have never thought about coaching sort of 4 years ago, but I really, really love it, and just seeing the changes that women have going through the program, it just blows me away every time.
What are some
I'll start at the beginning thinking this is not going to work, and then they come out at the end and they're like a different person, and it's just like it does work.
Yes. Really. So can you share a little bit about that? What are some of the symptoms that you see women that are struggling with a lot with menopause?
I mean, they can have absolutely anything. There's psychological symptoms. So you get the depression, the brain fog, the anxiety, loss of self-esteem. You get the physical ones like the joint pain. I started with hay fever, hot sweats, hot flushes, dry eyes, dry mouth, dry vagina. It's just all, there's just so many.
Yes, I know. I mean, I've been through menopause, so I'm now post-menopause, but still you're like, when you don't know what's going on, especially when you're in the thick of it, you really kind of feel like you're going a little bit crazy, right? I couldn't understand, why am I all of a sudden having these anxiety attacks? Why am I all of a sudden just feeling so low, and my body is changing, and I'm like, what the heck? And our GPs, unfortunately, will do blood tests or something, but they're not necessarily helpful in coaching a woman through the process.
No,
glad.
No, I mean, when I had the anxiety, the depression, I put it down to the pandemic. I thought it was just sort of the lockdowns just getting to me, and it was only when I went to Lauren's talk and I was like, bingo, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous that women are getting to sort of, getting to menopause and not realizing what it is. Nobody talks about it. No one tells you anything. And it's just, it's getting better. It's more out in the open now, but it's still a long way to go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's still hard to find, in our information world, it's still hard to understand how to navigate it, right? Because there's lots of misinformation out there as well.
Oh, definitely. And that's even in the I mean, I've spoken to a lady whose doctor told her, what do you expect your ovaries are shriveling up?
No, no way.
It is,
Oh
it's ridiculous,
God.
really. And I said to people, I said, if all men went through this, if a doctor had turned around and said, well, that's what you get when your balls shrivel up, there'd be uproar.
Right. It's so true. It's so true. Oh my God. That's hilarious, Julie. So what, I would love to kind of hear, like, what are some of the things that women feel at the end? Like when you're like, this isn't going to work. And all of a sudden it's like, yeah, wow, holy cow, this really does work. What are some of the shifts that you get to see?
The anxiety, the improvement in confidence, just getting themselves back on track, going from, not having the confidence to be able to feel like themselves again. And it's just by the plan we take is what Lauren developed. Her signature plan is the menopause plan, and it's looking at lifestyle changes. So it's nothing weird and wonderful, and it's just making those little changes, and it just has such a massive knock-on effect just by maybe just drinking more water. Or putting in a few boundaries, not saying yes to everybody, making the kids, do their own washing up and stuff like that, and just getting like 5-10 minutes back to themselves. That makes all that.
One of the things I love about your program is, and that you take people through as a certified menopause coach, is that it's not like you have to do this and this and this and this and this. It's like these really are simple lifestyle changes that you can implement, and they're like atomic habits, right? James Clear, he wrote the book Atomic Habits, and it's like, well, let's start here, and you start to see an improvement, and then you can kind of build on and add on these extra things that at first glance seem like common sense, right? But like, of course I should be drinking more water, of course I should be reducing the amount of alcohol or sugar, but you don't relate it, and especially without having support and someone to guide you through the process that holds you accountable, that can, follow a system, help you follow a system so that you get to the other side. That's just so critical.
And like I said, it's just simple things. And I always tell the ladies I take through that, you don't have to keep up everything that we do through the plan. Even if you only take away one thing and you carry on doing that, I said, maybe, 3 months down the line, you might add in something else that we've done, but it's fantastic. It is a fantastic, amazing plan. Really, really, I wish I'd have come up with it.
Well, we all experience menopause differently, right? Like,
definitely.
Some people don't ever have hot flashes. Some people have hot flashes. Some people don't ever have the anxiety, but they have the extra weight that their body is holding on. No
two people go through menopause the same, and no two people have the same severity of symptoms or even mixture of symptoms. Like you say, some people glide through it and wonder what the fuss is about, and other people struggle to get through the day. I mean, in the UK, we've got 1 in 10 women leaving their jobs because of the symptoms. Which is a massive amount loss to the economy, plus the companies as well. It's costing them a fortune from having to recruit rather than supporting the women, putting in a few adjustments and helping them stay and work.
Yeah, absolutely. And wouldn't that be amazing if we just had, more support for women who, had somebody to go along this journey, right? I think of it as, when we're trying to figure it out on our own, we can get in our head and we're like, well, Dr. Google says that it's this. And so I need to be taking HRT. Some women do need HRT. Some people can do it naturally. Like there's multiple ways. But it's hard to navigate that on your own. It really is. And I love that, you can help people make decisions that work well for them, for their life, their decisions, the way that they want to manage the symptoms. And I think it just makes such a huge difference to have a guide doing that. We need more of you.
Oh yeah. I wish I'd have had someone when I started going through it, because like I say, I hadn't got a clue.
Yeah, same. Well, I was told, I mean, I really struggled for about 5 years because I went through early menopause in my mid 40s, around 45. And I was like, what the heck is going on with my body? And they're like, oh, everything's fine. Like, it's normal. And I'm like, this can't be normal. Like, this is not right. And what was normal was that, you know, my hormones were declining, right? But they didn't explain to me that this is what's going to happen. And your hormones are normal for where you are in your life. But what you're actually doing is you're coming through menopause or you're going through menopause. And I didn't realize until I was actually already through it. Like, it had already been a year after I had stopped my period. And I'm like, wow, all of that was menopause symptoms. And you still, you know, need to manage those even after you've stopped, you know, your period for a year. There's still things that you want to do so that you can sleep through the night. And so you're still so you're
I mean, estrogen has a lot, you know, does a lot in the body. It looks after bone health, your heart, your brain, you know, your muscle strength and stuff like that. So just because you've gone through your symptoms, like you say, you know, you can't go back to your old ways. You do have to continue to look after yourself to make up for the fact that you've not got the estrogen anymore. Yeah.
What do you think is, you know, the biggest challenge that your women, you know, come to you for when they're like, is it that they just don't have the information? Is it that they don't know what's going on? Is it like, what's the biggest challenge?
I think it's lack of information, lack of support, GPs just fobbing them off, going, it's natural, here, have a few have some antidepressants, or not being able to get to see a GP. We have a real struggle over here with people being able to get to see their GP. You know, I had a lady that, you know, I've spoken to a couple that were suicidal. You know, they're just not getting can't get any support or not anyone to listen to them. You know, and doing the coaching is giving them that somebody to listen to and feel supported, so they feel a bit better, so they can go back and, you know, fight for what they want.
Yeah, I love that. So you can actually educate them so that when they do go to their GP, they can have more information and feel more confident about having those conversations. That's amazing. Yeah, that's huge, because then when we get to take back our own power with our health. We can have more, you know, we can be our own advocate.
And just understanding what you're going through as well makes a huge difference, rather than wondering, you know, why am I falling apart? You know, why is it happening to me and nobody else?
Yes. It really is terrifying. One of the things one of the ways that it affected me, and I was running my massage therapy practice at the time, is all of a sudden I got hit with massive anxiety to the point where I could not take my kid to soccer because I was to drive. Like, I had an anxiety attack when I was driving, and so that was like. And it just kind of started to snowball. And I remember my husband saying, "Are you ever going to go back to work again?" I'm like, "I hope so." Oh my God, what's happening? And it was so weird because it just was like, boom. So I wish, you know, somebody had said, "Chris, this is normal. This is what's happening to your body right now. And these are the things that you can do so that you're not struggling."
But unfortunately, a lot of, the GPs over here aren't routinely trained. You know, and menopause can happen, you know, perimenopause can happen at any age. I've spoken through the occupational health worker, I've spoken to a lady, she was in her 50s now, but she was 18 when she started going through it. So it can happen at any age.
Wow. So I want to hear some more of these cool, like, you know, facts, because there's some myths and some other things. So one myth that you're busting here is that it only happens when you hit 50. It actually can happen earlier. It's not, you know, I think in the UK it's 1 in 100,000, I think, sort of teenagers. So it's not everybody, you know, it's not, you know,
common, but it does happen.
Wow.
You know,
What are some other things that you learned that you had no idea?
takes 4 years for someone to get effective support to manage their symptoms.
And now, is that meaning it takes 4 years for the medical association?
I think it's a bit about realizing what's going on, and then sometimes fighting to get the, you know, the support that you want, if you want to go on HRT and stuff like that, and, you know, getting the GPs to listen.
That is entirely too long. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, it's starting now. Someone was starting to potentially, it could be 2027 before they're starting to feel, you know, getting some proper support of, you know,
to start
feeling more
better.
Yeah.
Oh
I mean, it's dire. It is.
That's just ridiculous. That really kind of makes me mad.
Yeah.
that, you know, we are letting women suffer for that long.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that way. And especially because there are some very simple things that we can do.
Yeah. Like you say, drinking more water. You know, if you the body is made up of majority of water. You lose 1% of your body's water and you're classed as dehydrated. And if you're having hot sweats, you're losing even more than you would sort of normally. So it's important to make sure that you're drinking plenty of water, keep hydrated, and that can help with lessen the brain fog as well, because you're keeping the brain hydrated, because that is mainly that's about 70% water. So you don't want that to shrivel up.
So one simple, easy step would be to add more water in. How much water do you typically recommend to be hydrated? Is there a guideline?
According to nutritionists, it depends who you talk to. But the best thing to do is look at the colour of your wee, and the paler it is, the better. Although some medications and some foods can change the colour. You know, vitamin C will send it bright orange. Or if you eat a lot of beetroot, it can go purpley. But the paler it is, if it's dark, it's very concentrated. And you need sort of to drink more, because you a little bit, you know, need a bit dehydrated. So you want to look at how clear it is. So that's one way of doing it.
And then, like, if there was just like, so if someone today was like, I know I need to drink more water, but what does that look like? Is it, and, you know, if they're drinking 1 cup of water, you know, like, what is the recommendation that you would give them? Like, aim for 8 glasses, or
I just look at what you're doing and see if you can add one more in. Don't say I'm going to, from tomorrow you're going to drink 10 glasses. Aim to do whatever you're doing now, and then add one more in, and then build it up gradually. Because it's that habit building. Because if you say, I'm going to start off drinking 10 glasses tomorrow, you only hit 2, you're going to give up.
Oh, so good. So now we're diving into habit change, right? How do we make these things stick? And that is by really making those micro changes, that 1% change, or if you're just add 1 more cup of water. I know for me, I actually started drinking water, like a cup of water or a cup of lemon water, before I even had coffee in the morning. To get that. So I just kind of made that little shift of, before I had a cup of coffee, I was going to make sure that I got water into my body first. There's no point in setting yourself up to fail, because oh my gosh, Julie, this is so good.
Messes with the head even more. You don't need any more messing with the head.
I know, right? It's true, right? We're like, get me out of here. Oh my gosh, Julie, this is so good. So you've got 5 magic steps to help manage your menopause, or 5 magic tips. So we will definitely pop the link below. And then where else can people find you, Julie? So if someone's struggling, where can they find you?
Well, I'm on Facebook. I'm as Julie Menopause Coach. I have just a normal page there, and I've also got a private group as well, which is Menopause Support with Julie Menopause Coach. So it's
amazing.
Just remember the name, Julie Menopause Coach.
Yes, I love that. Well, I'll pop that link in the description too.
Right.
So for those of you that, you know, would like to get in touch with Julie, join her group. She's got free resources in there. She's got, again, that's a free Facebook group to kind of support women on their journey. And so we'll pop that there. Julie, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And thank you for having me. It's quite an honor to be in with such an esteemed group of women.
We need you. We need you. We need more women that are advocates for women going through this, because again, ridiculous that it would take 4 years for
Yeah.
us to get relief. Absolutely ridiculous. And
Yeah.
so for those of you, if you know somebody who's also struggling with menopause, refer them to Julie too. So feel free to copy the link, send it to a friend. Again, we are, and I love, you know, one of the things that you have on your sheet, Julie, is we're in this together. We really are. As women, we need to look out for each other. So if there's, you know, an expert here that you have heard that you would like to share with somebody, either invite them into the group so that they can hear the training. Feel free to share the freebie with somebody. We really want women to thrive in all areas of their life, in their health, in their emotions, in their wellness, in their business, all of it. So, Julie, thank you for being brave and being visible.
Thank you.
and helping.
I'm going to go down and have a lie down now.
Right. Thank you so much, Julie. It was
Thanks
so great chatting with you.
And you. Thanks very much, Chris.
Yeah. Bye.